Today we're going to be discussing the beginner's guide to Rolex bracelets. So good day watch fans, and following the Rolex beginner's buyer's guide I did the other week, we're going to be following it up with looking at the beginner's guide to bracelets. Now, most of you now will encounter 4 types of bracelet on your Rolex. That would be the Oyster, the Jubilee, the Oyster Flex or the President. Now, for most beginners, they might not be encountering the President bracelet or the Oyster Flex. They'll probably be encountering the Oyster or the Jubilee. Now, we're going to start off with the Oyster bracelet, and I'm going to explain how it will come and what it is. So the Oyster bracelet is a 3-piece bracelet. Now, it consists of 2 end lugs and a center link. Now, you will encounter this on the Submariners, you can get this on Daytonas, you can get this on Datejusts, you can get this on a lot of different watches now, and obviously many more. But you will encounter it in a couple of different ways. Number 1, it will be all brushed steel. I'll put them up on the screen now. You can encounter it with brushed end lugs and a polished center links. This tends to be our slightly more expensive models. Now, the other way you might encounter the Oyster bracelet is a bimetal, which is, again, stainless steel outside lugs and precious metal center links, usually in rose gold or in yellow gold. Now, you can get full precious metal Oyster bracelets where you would have a all gold, a white gold or a rose gold, and also you can get the Oyster bracelets in a platinum, but again, these are very high-end models. Now, you won't tend to find that on entry-level watches, or obviously maybe for your first watch, but that is what you will encounter when it comes to an Oyster bracelet. Now, the Oyster bracelet tends to be quite durable. It tends to be quite a masculine looking bracelet, quite sporty and quite an everyday bracelet. But if you wanted something a little bit more dressy, then you would be looking at the Jubilee. Now, the Jubilee is a 5-piece bracelet. Now, the Jubilee looks a little bit more elegant. Some people say that it fits the wrist a little bit better. You tend to find yourself paying a bit more of a premium for a Jubilee bracelet. So if you had a Datejust which had an Oyster and the same Datejust with a Jubilee, the Jubilee tends to be a bit more expensive. But once again, with the Jubilee, you can get this in bimetal and you can get this in all steel. Now, the next bracelet you will find yourself encountering is a presidential bracelet. Again, this is a 3-piece bracelet. Now, this only comes in precious metal. So you know, if you see the President bracelet that I'm popping up on the screen, you know that it is either a platinum, a white gold, yellow gold or rose gold bracelet. With the President bracelet, you will only find this on a day-date model. Again, it's called the President because presidents were seen to be wearing Rolex day-dates. Now, with the President bracelet, now these are probably the dressiest bracelets you will find. Now, the last bracelet you're probably going to encounter is an Oyster Flex bracelet. Now, the Oyster Flex is a rubber bracelet. Now, this is meant to be more comfortable. It gives you quite a sort of like a sporty, casual look. These bracelets now have to be cut to size, so if you do have it fitted for you, the chances are you're not going to be able to fit it to somebody else. So if you're buying this bracelet second hand, you might then have to purchase another bracelet that fits you, or you're lucky and you have a smaller wrist than the person who wore it before. As a buyer's guide now, you're going to encounter the Oyster on a lot of your models and the Jubilee. So the lower end Rolex models, your Datejusts, your Submariners, your Explorers, your Milgausses, your Air Kings, your Oyster Perpetuals, you're only going to really encounter the Oyster bracelet and on the Datejusts, the Jubilee. So hopefully that's given you a bit of an idea of what different bracelets you can purchase, or what they are, if you're wondering when you hear the words Oyster, Jubilee, Presidential or Oyster Flex. So hopefully this has helped as a bit of a buyer's guide now to what to expect when you're asking for your first Rolex.